the whole point of the reboot was supposed to be like, we understand that most of everybody is tired of reading, you know, like reading what DC is after like the 100th Infinite Crisis and everybody dying at least 12 times. So how about
I don't even know what characters are alive or married at this point. I have no idea.
It doesn't really matter because everybody's married and everybody dies and they all come back and they all get divorced and they all get married again and everything's happy.
And that's kind of something I want to bring up before, actually, is that's why I don't care at all about, like, serialized comics. And it's why, like, I can watch a TV show about comic book characters, I can watch movies about them, because they're cool characters. There's interesting stuff that happen. But if you take it in the context of a serialized comic, which will go on for, like, 50 years, and they will not drop the character because it makes them money, nothing will ever change.
That was the point of the reboot. We're saying, like, there's nothing harder to get people to join is when you pick up, like, the 800th issue of Superman and realize, I don't know what the fuck is going on and why is all of this happening. And it's because the comic books, since they're not so widely distributed, it's so isolated. They keep themselves in such a close-knit circle where it's like comic book shops or online. Choose. Whereas, you know, if it was like a magazine...
Then you get this interesting problem, though, because you keep rebooting it and basically, like, simplifying and streamlining the universe to get people... make it accessible for people.
Yeah.
But then those new fans get really obsessed with the show and or the comic and stuff. They find out about all these cool things that existed before that got cut out to make it streamlined. And then the demand for that makes it expand outward.
Because they want more of what was previously in there.
So you have this endless 5-year cycle, basically.
If you want to do a reboot, wipe it. Like, literally wipe it as much as you can. Like,
they need new characters.
But
that's the ultimate problem.
That's what I'm saying. Like, wipe the entire
line.
Make
new stuff up for once. That's my ultimate problem with this game, with comics. I'm not worried about it being convoluted. I can jump into a show halfway through a season and figure things out. And that's not an obstacle for me for comics either. My obstacle with comics is that I have no reason to care.
Yeah.
These are characters who have been around for more than twice my lifespan so far, and they've pretty much been the exact same character the whole time. It's like watching a show like, say, Heroes, where like, oh, we're holding on to Claire Bennett because she's really popular, so we're going to keep her on the show the whole time, even if she's not doing anything, and there'll be like no real change to her along the way, but... she's there, and she makes us money, and it's like, that's what Superman is, that's what Batman is, that's what all these characters are at this point.
But again, it's like, you set up such a long lineage. If someone's, you know, Batman, Superman, they're already household names. So, like, someone says, like, I'm Batman, they go, like, oh, okay, Batman. Or someone says, you know, like, I like Superman, okay, Superman. Yeah. Like, if someone goes, like, I like Shikaboodle, and they're like, who the fuck is Shikaboodle? Get Shikaboodle out of here. I don't want to hear about Shikaboodle. And so it's like, that's the thing. Like, they can't make up a new superhero because, 1, everybody's been made. Yeah. 2, everyone already knows everybody who's been made. And 3, no one wants new people because they already know everything about everybody who's already been made. So it's going to just piss people off when they go like, hey, here's a new character. And they're going to go, fuck, is there anything...
Isn't this just derivative of the Flash?
Yeah, so then people are just going to be... Yeah, they're going to just be arrogant assholes and going to be like, well, you had an original, keep the original. Well, we did, except the original's fucking convoluted storyline was so goddamn far up its ass, we can't figure out which way came out. I mean, it's like, you're looking at it and you're like, holy fuck, where was the origin and where was the ending? Because they both look entirely the same. It's just like, just a fucking mashup of shit, and then it's like, the end. Okay, all I got was that the end happened.
It basically ends up in a situation where the final result of it all is that I'm happy the comics exist because they set up the premise for things like The Dark Knight to exist. Yeah. Like movies like that, because I love a lot of these superhero movies. And you give a right director, the right actors, you get a really solid movie. But I have no interest in ever actually exploring what these movies are based on. If it's going to be that way, so be it. It works for me, I guess.
I guess it's just, I don't know. After a while, you have to start. I don't know. This has to be this time where you just have to let it go.
Yeah,
you have to understand that it's there. You know,
like, anime and manga really has the same problem too. Like, what, Death Note? The fuck? That's something that should have ended after about 100 chapters.
Yeah, it should have. Honestly, it should have.
Almost exactly 100 chapters too, because that's when the big the primary plot line.
Yeah, that's when L dies.
Yeah, and then you start throwing in vampires and children or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, it was like as soon as the main objective was done, where it was like L dies, you're like, we're done, we did it, we watched the show, we got exactly what we wanted to.
It would be like having a third Star Wars trilogy that takes place after the Emperor's dead.